It is so freeing when you discover the absolute power of not giving up. Let me give you some examples. The other day, I was having a conversation with a guy who was in his late 50s, early 60s. We were talking about my fitness journey and, between losing weight and going to the gym. And he was like, back in my 20s, I started going to the gym and I got there and I was just uncomfortable because I felt like everybody was watching me and judging me, so I just stopped going. And that bothered me because he wanted to go to the gym for a couple reasons. He wanted to go to the gym to be healthy. He wanted to go to the gym to have a physique that he was proud of, and wanted to go to the gym just for longer life and for all the benefits that the gym has. And his perception of what he thought people were thinking about him made him stop, and he's never gone back. Now, let me be clear too, this is not a video about just going to the gym. I'm gonna give you some other examples as well. If you've followed my content at all on any of the other platforms, you'll know that a lot of times I'm wearing a kilt. And when you're a big guy, or just a guy at all, and you're wearing a kilt out in public, we're not in Scotland, so it's not the norm, people will make comments. Most of them are very, very positive. People, saying, hey, I like the look, that's great, are you Scottish? You get questions. But something that I'd run across a lot is guys would talk to me about it and they go, I would love to wear a kilt too. They look so comfortable, I've always liked the look, but I'm afraid of what my friends will think. Or people who think about booking portrait and boudoir photo sessions. I've spoken with a ton of people who said it's something that I've always wanted to do, but I'm afraid of what people will think. Well, people think I'm vain. Hell, I know for a fact that there are choices that I have made in my life that have had people in my orbit at that point in time have talked behind my back, have passed judgment. A couple of them are getting married as quickly as I did. My wife and I didn't date that long. It was really only a couple of months before we announced our engagement, and we were married less than a year from our first date. That raised eyebrows, and here we are all of these years later, and we are extremely happy. When I decided I was going to start a photography business, I know there was conversation, because it gets back to you. Like, people have told me what people were saying behind my back, right? And now 13 years later, I have this beautiful, thriving business. I get to make a difference in people's lives. I get to create photos for people that help them get work, that become gifts, that become beautiful piece of art in their home, that help them celebrate milestones. And it's because I stuck with it. So let me put this in your head. Think about all the people that you see on social media or regular media, or are friends of yours, or are of relationships of some way, shape, or form. The people who you see that you feel like are doing the really cool stuff, the stuff that you're like, I wish I could do that. And most likely, those people did some things that raised some eyebrows. If they had sat back and gone, oh, what are people going to think about me? Would they have achieved what they've done, right? So, love him or hate him, that's not the point of this. I am certain that when Jeff Bezos decided that he was going to start selling books on the internet, just books, that people were like, you're nuts. There's a Barnes & Noble just right down the street. Had he just gone, yeah, there's Barnes & Noble, then we wouldn't have Amazon today. And I'm not passing judgment, good or bad, on Amazon. That's not for me to say. Here is the straight truth of it. Anything that you try to do that is something that your friends or people in your world don't understand or don't agree with or think they're smarter or whatever, there will be people who are going to talk and who are going to pass judgment. That's just a part of it. There's the analogy that you'll hear a lot in self-help circles and things, that if there's a bucket of crabs and one crab tries to get out of the bucket and make a break for freedom, the other crabs in the bucket will grab and try to pull that crab back in. It's the same thing. People get uncomfortable with change. People are comfortable in their own universes. But why should anyone else's beliefs anyone else's choices dictate how you get to live your life. Like, so the guy that I was talking about who started to go to the gym in his 20s and then got uncomfortable, where would he be health-wise now if he had stuck with the gym, right? Like, would he have the same aches and pains? Where would he be? Probably a lot healthier than he is right now, and he's not in a bad way, but it could be a whole lot better. Or what if I decided, oh, people are going to judge me if I start a photography business. I was a sound designer. What if, people are going to talk about that? Where I wouldn't have this. I wouldn't have a business that I built, that I'm proud of, that I love to come to every day. I wouldn't have been able to make the things that I've made for people, right? I am not going to give anybody else in the world the power to take this away from me. And here's the flip side of that coin. It's like the people who do succeed, the people who do the things that you're maybe considering doing are going to be the most helpful. Like, if you go to a good gym, the people who are the most fit, the people who are the most active, the bodybuilders, the people who are just doing it all the way, they are the most supportive people on the planet. And if you go to that gym long enough, what's going to happen is you're going to end up building a lot of non-spoken relationships with people. You're going to make eye contact across the room, probably never know that person's name, but they're going to give you the head nod. They're going to give you the fist or whatever. And at some point, somebody's going to come by and go, "You're looking jacked," or they're going to call you big dog or something, right? It's like, those are the supportive people. You need a spot. One of those people who are actual real gym goers who care are the ones who are going to spot you, right? It's the people who are spending all their time just sitting on 3 machines doing nothing, just scrolling Instagram. They're the ones who are judging. They're the ones who aren't getting work done. Who cares what they think? The same with art, the same with business or whatever. If you go to all of the Facebook groups where people just complain the entire time, those are people who aren't succeeding. And they're going, "Oh, well, this business did this, and this person undercut me, and this and that," or whatever. And those people are the ones who don't excel in their field. They're the ones that aren't having successful photography studios or whatever business. The people who are succeeding, the people who are doing the best, are also the first ones to cheer when somebody else has a success. Easy for me to say. When somebody books the big client or has their first $10,000 sale or whatever, those are the people who are like, "Hell yeah, let's go," because they know that it's rising tides, all ships, and they know how good it feels to succeed, and they want to see everybody win because there's plenty out there for all of us. So let's say that you pluck up the courage to do the thing, whatever the thing is. I've mentioned a few, but it could be a host of anythings. What happens when you actually do the thing? There's gonna be some people who are always going to turn their nose up and, "Yeah, you could have done, you should have been happy." The same way that there's those people who sit on a couch and watch sports and have never done anything athletic in their lives and will go, "Oh, well, what the quarterback should have done." And I've never played football. I can't talk about that one. But here, let's tie it to stuff that I'm interested in. I'm a pro wrestling fan, have been my whole life. Pro wrestling, it's done live. And I did live theater forever. Things go wrong out there. The internet wrestling community is the first to go, "Oh, this person botched this," and try to call people out. They've never done it live. Until you've done it live, shut up. Your opinion doesn't matter. So those people will always exist. But they're also the people not trying anything. They are comfortable living for Saturdays. And then there's the other group of the naysayers who are going to see you succeed, and then they're going to go, "Oh, well, tell me how you did it. I want to do it too." Partially because they go, "Oh, it is possible. Well, that's cool." And then the other side of it is they didn't want to do the work in the first place, so they're looking for a shortcut. Here, I'll give you a concrete example on that right now, right? So I'm still new to this YouTube thing. I'm still figuring this stuff out. And I know that there are people, because word makes it back around, that go, oh, well, what's he trying to do that now? It's now he's a YouTuber, blah, blah, and whatever. That's fine. But save this video. I'm recording this on August 4th, 2026 is when I'm recording this video. So right now, a majority of the long form videos that I post get between 50 and 100 views. That's fine. Watch, come back to this video in 2 years, and you will see that I will have succeeded. It's gonna happen. I know what success looks like in the little theater in my head for this. I've made the decision it's gonna happen. I don't care about the other opinions. And when it does succeed, when it does do what it needs to do, there will be people who will go, show me how to do YouTube. I know this for a fact because it's what happened with my short form video. The amount of phone calls that I sat on with people asking me how to do short form, right? So that's what the people, your naysayers, are gonna say. What will also happen in the meantime is you will start to attract a new community. You will attract community who is supportive and community who is excited for what you're doing, and you will build new friendships and you will build new relationships and you will do things in life that excite you. And those things may change in the future, but that's how it works. I never thought in a million years this would be my photography studio. I never thought in a million years that in my late 40s, I would be getting into the best shape of my life. And if I let the naysayers, the people who might want to judge me, stop me from doing that, then I wouldn't get to experience my stuff. So, I don't know, I guess thanks for coming to my TED Talk. You know, don't worry about other people. Live your life, have a good time, enjoy whatever your things are. If it's start a business, if it's put your art into the world, go to the gym, start karate. I started karate a couple months ago because why not? So, right? I suck at wrapping these things up. So, have a good week.